Burnout was the best thing that ever happened to me because it made me realize just how much I was missing. 1 year ago, I was waking up at 4:30 a.m., taking about 20 minutes to brush my teeth, take a shower, throw on some scrubs, and hop into my company car to head to work. Depending on where I had to be, I could be driving between 3 to 5 hours a day. And I did this every day, rain or shine, for more than a year, 15 months to be exact. I stayed in Marriott hotels exactly 98 nights that year and racked up more than 300,000 points. That made me titanium elite status. Now, I never thought that I'd be able to do that, but I did. And it was fun for a while, but then it sucked. And over a span of that year, I grew more weary and tired. I lived on Starbucks coffee, blueberry scones, and podcasts by Brene Brown and Gary Vee. I had no motivation to do anything fun, no motivation to move my body or exercise, and all I could think about was work. Driving to work in traffic and making sure I was alert enough to work with doctors and the lab staff at the hospitals. We dealt with patients, real people who came in for procedures to cure their heart conditions. It was a lot of pressure. Sometimes I'd be in the lab for 2 hours, or sometimes I'd be there for more than 10. And over that year, I slowly felt my freedoms being taken away from me. My life revolved around work. I needed to make sure that I slept early enough every night so that I could wake up and get going on the road by 5 a.m. to do that 2-hour drive. Procedures usually started at 8 a.m., so we would try to get there by 7:30 or earlier. And then I'd be back in my car driving back home. I don't think I was bad at the job. I honestly thought I was pretty good, but it was the lifestyle that ultimately tore me apart. I started to have panic attacks if I had to drive more than an hour and a half to work. And that was quite often. The moment that my anxiety started to peak, I started to ask myself, am I burning out? Is this what burning out feels like? Is all of this even worth it? I started having conversations with a close friend at work who I trusted, and she had mentioned that the drive and this lifestyle, that was her life, and she was okay with it. But if I'm not okay with it, then it's okay to feel otherwise. So I let 6 months pass, and I was in the throes of denial. I was gaslighting myself. I was being gaslit, and I was just pushing through, and it ultimately only got worse. So I finally asked myself this question. Ask yourself this question as well if you're feeling the same way. What was I missing by staying in this job? What are you missing by staying in the job that you're in? And it honestly became so clear to me. It was time. Time for family, time for my boyfriend, time for my dog, time to travel, time to go out and have a beer, time to exercise, time to do things that I love. Just time. It's such a simple concept, but people can't grasp it because they're stuck within the golden handcuffs of corporate life. That door, it's right in front of you, yet you refuse to walk out of it. You have the key right next to you. You are in control of your life. Yet what happens is we live in fear. And what do we do all of that for? Money that we can't spend until we're 65? I think that's just ridiculous, don't you? So I decided that it wasn't worth it, and I left. And now I wake up at 7:30 in the morning with no time constraints. I take out my dog for her morning walk, and I'm able to enjoy some morning lattes and have breakfast with my boyfriend, which honestly I couldn't do last year. I'd be out of the house by 5 a.m. before he was even awake, before she was even awake. And now during my days, I take time scripting new YouTube videos for you all to see. I spend time writing LinkedIn articles. I'm taking art classes that I haven't taken in years. What's something that you haven't done in so long? What's something that you haven't done since you were a kid? I'm thinking about giving tennis lessons again. I used to do that when I was in college and in high school, and it brought me so much joy. And the best part is, I have more time to be in silence and meditate and cook more healthy meals and of course travel more and spend more time in nature. It's beautiful out. I couldn't I couldn't do this if I was still working that job. Right, Senna? Yeah, I know. So I have to say that burnout and going through burnout was honestly the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because if I didn't get burnt out, if I didn't feel that anxiety, if I didn't have those panic attacks, I wouldn't have questioned where my life was going. I wouldn't have realized what I was missing. And I wouldn't have pushed myself to make a change. I wouldn't be able to just spend an afternoon on the grass in the sun with my dog. If you're going through burnout and are maybe thinking about quitting your job and you want to learn about my experience, go ahead and give this video a watch and comment below with your experiences. I want to connect with you. Come here. Come here, Zena. Yeah.